I'm just curious about over 35 and over 45 divisions, about whether or not they have height classes, and
you know, but actually,
talk a little bit about that.
No, that's a good question. And more of the shows, I will tell you, because it's amazing. Women, I think too, as you get older, I think that now you have time for yourself a little bit more than you do when you're younger. So our master classes in the women's divisions, whether it's bikini, fitness, figure, bodybuilding, you know, women's physique, are growing tremendously, okay? And it just kind of depends on the area and what the promoters normally get. When they, like, you know, I said, like if they get, say you, as a promoter, you do over 35 in figure, and you get 15 girls the first year, and you go, oh, I only had one class, you know what I mean? And sometimes promoters will. At the very end, they know they're getting a lot of competitors, and so they'll add a second class so that when you get to a show, they'll say, you know what I mean, I had 15, so I've decided to split it. Or they'll get a lot one year, so then they'll either add more classes, because that's what they did just with the open bikini here. We didn't have 6 classes last year, we had 4. And the interest was so big that now we've added 6. And the same thing with the masters. A lot of the, like I said, a promoter will do a 45, just one class, and then realizes that in the area that it was a big draw, and so the next year they'll bump it up to to 2 classes or 3 classes. At the Masters Nationals, most of the 35, over 35, both the bikini and figure, have 6 classes, and then the 45 has 4, and we have 55 now at both figure and bikini and bodybuilding at the Masters Nationals, and they were both divided up into 2 or 3 classes. And I think the 60 or 65 was just 1 class. But again, that just I mean, the promoter has an option there. It just happens to see what is the big, what is the interest in the area, the area where geographically where he's promoting. But the NPC doesn't dictate like how many classes you can have. Mm-hmm.
So I've been practicing the T-walk, so going back and forth, and I'm reading on here that it's just to the front, do your thing, and then go back. Is that correct? So are we not coming up to the front and then going side to side? For bikini.
No, most of the shows I would say today, again, time-wise, and again, the promoters have a little bit of leeway here, just because if a promoter doesn't have a big show, he's gonna give the athletes as much time, you know what I mean, as he can on stage. Whereas the bigger shows, it's usually walking to the middle, doing a front and a back, and off. Yeah.
Okay, so I just gotta rethink my.
Yes.
What I have in my mind.
You're gonna stay in a small area here.
In other organizations, they do T-walks.
Okay, that's how I've been practicing this whole time.
Yeah, in other organizations, they will do T-walks, but in the NPC, it's just straightforward to the center. Unless you're at the Arnold Classic or the Olympia, which even at the Olympia, they don't do T-walks. But right, then you wait off to your side once you do your presentation round in the center, and that's it.
Okay, so this is just called the model?
Model, yeah, we call the model walk, model turn, yeah.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
got it. We're ready.
Okay.
Perfect height. Okay, when I see a lot of the NPC shows as well as the pro shows, for the side pose, they either stand like this sometimes with a little slight stance. Is there a preference that judges like? Is there something you're looking for more on the side?
You know what? It depends. There are some judges that are, because I get this a lot. My judges will say, get them to stand straight or get them to, right onto the side. You know what? To be honest with you, you're going to push it as much as you can as an athlete, because you always look a little bit better if you can drop that shoulder back, you know what I mean, and make a little bit of an angle. You know what I mean? It just gives your, yeah. And to be honest with you, I would say probably 80% of the judges are not going to care. You know what I mean? And again, if you're up there and all of a sudden you hear the judges say, I need everyone hands at the side, then you kind of go, okay, I'm not getting that far. I need, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay, great.
But as an athlete, I'd push it a little bit. Yeah. Most judges will, as an overall, they'll say, now again, if they say it like 4 times and the person is still like this, they will say, number 65, get your arm to the side. But most of the time, they just kind of give you a general warning.